Only these are every Saturday. 12 noon precisely. You know it's the time for the program that looks deeply into grassroots development, grassroots sports development. This is Sports Drill on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Agbari Gone against the city of Ibadan, Nigeria. Of course, in case you're just joining us, this is a program that gives voice to grassroots sports. Before we discuss varieties of issues that affect grassroots sports development, today won't be an exception. Today promises to be another exciting time on the show. Another time to learn, another time to impact, another time to look inside into how sports at the grassroots level can get to a better stage. So welcome on board to another edition. And of course, I've got an important guest. In the morning I told you I'm going to host the government. The government is here. Those in charge of grassroots sport development. But before I introduce him, you can listen to us anywhere you are in the world. Just go to our Facebook page, Pensioners FM 106.7. Our Pensioners FM 106.7. I am Raymond, the Sports Illuminator. So who is my guest today? I got a special advisor to the governor on grassroots sport development. I got a special assistant to the governor on grassroots sport development, Mr. Oyewunmi Oluwatobi Ayoyinka. Right here in the building. Right here in the building, Mr. Oyewunmi Oluwatobi Ayoyinka. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my brother.
How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
You're welcome on board to Pensioners 106.7 FM.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, let me do a bit of introduction on my guest. Oyewunmi Oluwatobi Ayoyinka from Osun State, initial precisely. At his primary education at University of Ibadan Staff School before proceeding to Bishop Akinyele Grammar School, Okirara in Ibadan for his secondary education. He proceeded to University of Ibadan for his undergraduate and postgraduate studies, where he studied political science and peace, and of course conflict studies respectively. He got involved in sport at a very young age, and his love for sport developed naturally. He was once a house captain in his primary school days. He represented his secondary school in various different football competitions. It looks like he loved football a lot because he once played as a defensive midfielder during his grassroots days. Of course, he also once represented his institution at major tournaments like NUGA, that is Nigerian University Games, Wahoo, West African University Games, and so much more. He could direct, he could organize, and execute tournaments. Maybe with all these factors, all these qualities, that was why the governor of the state, Governor Seyi Makinde, deemed it fit to make him the special assistant on grassroots sport development. On January 15, 2020, he was appointed. He had a love for sports. I mean, am I wrong in any way? Maybe you should correct me.
No, at all. You're actually correct because my love for sports actually started at a very very young age. Like I grew up like in a campus environment where kids from other houses we all meet up and play ball. And our parents will be chasing us all over the place. Like, oh, come in, you understand? So I just loved playing football. That was my first love. That was the sport I naturally fell in love with. But as I actually grew older, I learned other sports. I can play volleyball. Wake me up anytime, any day. I will definitely play volleyball for you. I sprint.
Okay.
I used to be a sprinter too. In my different houses then. I used to be a sprinter. And some couple of other sports, table tennis and all. So my love for sports has just been insatiable. I love sports.
He loves sports. I like a popular saying, let me say like my popular quote. If you love sports, maybe I love sports more than you. Because I have a personal quote that says everything without sports makes me the dullest guy ever created. Maybe sport is meeting sports.
Yeah.
All right. Dr. Fred, your guide once said, I have always been an advocate that we can't grow without developing our young ones. There's no way we can make it at national and international level if we don't develop grassroots sports. Grassroots sport has been, for any good sporting nation that has ever been successful, grassroots sport has been the platform. You leave that alone, then we will rest assured that you are going nowhere.
Yeah.
And looking into it, let's begin this way. Grassroots sport, what is actually grassroots sports?
Yeah, grassroots sports is just simply, identifying talents and nurturing them into being superstars. Grassroots sports is all about organizing competitions. Competitions that are not just for the sake of okay, you understand, for the sake of actually coming with the purpose of identifying and grooming somebody to become something in life. Because we all know that sports is not just
it's not just participation or recreation.
It's not just being frivolous. Sports is now that's metamorphosed into
big business.
Yes,
big business now.
Yes. So now sports is an entity on its own, and without grassroots development of sports, you cannot go to the next stage. Because when people see you, how they rate people is through in their achievements in international organizations, in international sports competitions. But the only way you get those talents, the only way you get those superstars is when you develop them from the grassroots. If you don't develop, if you don't put that time to develop somebody, there's nothing that you gain in international competitions. You will just come back home and you start from doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. No, we need to develop our grassroots sports.
We need to develop our grassroots sport. Without that, we are going nowhere. Okay, before coming on board as a special assistant to the governor on grassroots sport development, I want to believe you've been, just like you mentioned, you've been through a lot of grassroots. If you for an average Yoruba girl, an average man who dived into football as a young guns, you have been through some grassroots sports there, but maybe participated. Can you just put us through some of those experiences you had in the grassroots?
Yeah. I had great experiences. Okay, starting from primary school. That was when that time you play ball. You just play ball.
For the fun of it.
Yeah, for the fun of it. Yeah. But the other sports I could remember that I got engaged in was in athletics. That times those are the times you do inter-house sports.
Definitely.
Yeah, I went to my school. Yeah, they used to organize inter-house sports. Well, I was in cross house then. I could remember very well. You understand? So those times, those are the times I was involved in athletics. Even till my secondary school days. But when I got to secondary school, yeah, that was when the football playing really got intense. You understand? At the very okay, I could say like I was in GS2 when I broke into my secondary school football team.
You must be a very good footballer.
Yeah. I was pretty okay. I was pretty okay. So like I was in GS2 when I broke. So I used to go with my seniors. We used to go and train and you see people. You see tackles run everywhere. You understand? So I just fell in love with sports then. So I went to Bishop Akinle Grammar School, a boys only secondary school in Okeare, Ibadan. So we had this school, St. Teresa Seminary.
Okay.
Catholic schools. I think Catholic schools then
They have everything.
they had all the facilities they had. So they were like a brother school to mine. So we used to go there, train with them, play with them, and we organize competitions. They call Sacred Heart, call International School Ibadan, call different schools. So we would play ball. So I was always involved, always involved in grassroots. So that was a grassroots thing for me then, and even till my university days. I was in political science departments where you have all the big guys and all the politicians in the school. So and we also love football. We also love so even then when I got to by the time I was in my 400, I was the sports director then in UI. I was the team captain. I was the sport director. So it has always been you have to understand you have to know how to balance management and at the same time being a team player. You understand? So that was.
Do you at any point in time play for all these grassroots clubs?
No. At that time, no, I didn't really, because I had to, coming from an educational background, our parents, the way they have about, okay, you must
have to
read.
go to
That was
school.
the time when I finished my junior WAEC then. I told my mom that mom made me in law school, mom. I just wanted to play ball. I was tired of going to school. Like I just want to at least this is what I want to do.
Passion is just pushing you to go to go.
But what to party?
You can afford that.
So that was that. But I used to anytime any small recreation I had, I was on the field playing ball. I was on the field running. You understand? It was a lifestyle for me.
Lifestyle.
It was a lifestyle for me.
It was a lifestyle for him. Playing football, participating in sports. Definitely an average guy out there. I think love sports. Definitely. I hardly see a guy. Maybe there are some definitely, but then I'm moving forward. Before coming on board, looking at Oyo State grassroots sports development. Or let me say Oyo State grassroots sports in general. How will you rate Oyo State grassroots?
I would say grassroots sports in Oyo State has been quite below par. They're not up there, but effort. I'm sure people have been putting efforts in place before I got on board. The thing is, we understand that. I think for the past 8 years, the last 8 years, we've not really had a government that actually saw the need for sports. You understand? They felt sport is just a waste of time.
Waste of time. I've had that a lot of time.
Yeah, sport is a waste of energy. When so they didn't see, and the thing is, for sports to grow anywhere, there needs to be fervent commitment from the government.
Definitely.
There needs to be, the leader there has to see that sports
is something tangible.
Exactly. Sports can take you from zero to hero.
Definitely.
Sports can change your life. Not that it will change your life. You understand? You the way sport is not, people don't play sports for money. And as the saying goes, they say money is not everything. Even in life, money is not happiness.
Yeah.
You understand? Happiness comes from within.
Within.
If you have money, you are okay. You understand? But happiness comes from within, and I can bet you sports will give you happiness.
A lot.
You understand? So the only thing I could say is, it starts from up there. If there is that commitment from up there, grassroots sports will develop in any state. In any state.
In any state, not just your state
in
alone.
any state, if there is that commitment
The
from
moment we have possibly a governor that feels that harness and believe that sport can be the next big thing,
exactly
then grassroots sport
a
will not.
visionary leader that sees that okay, in the next how many years sports is going to be a conglomerate that drives him money. You understand? So it's just from up there, and if it's from up there, it will spread
Circulate everywhere. Unfortunately, we have a sport-loving governor in Governor Seyi Makinde.
Yeah,
Maybe.
glory be to God.
And just like you said, for the first time in 80 years, we're having a governor that seems to understand that sport is very, very important at the moment, and is diving into it.
Yes.
And so, going forward, grassroots sport, just like you said, it's been below par. Of course, I think almost everybody in your state knows how sport has been. I mean, I've been able to speak with so many administrators, and they have not been happy with what has been happening within the grassroots and, of course, the state in general. What are the plans on ground? You are the, special assistant to the governor, and
Yes.
I believe is trusting you with a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
And with your experience when you're going on within the grassroots, what are the plans for grassroots to develop all over, not only Ibadan, all over your state?
This is it, my brother. Even okay, we know grassroots. We know sports is all about the activities you put in place.
Yeah.
You understand? And they say once there are facilities, activities will follow. You get what I'm saying? So this is what we put in place. You know, at first we understood that okay, when I first got in, all the athletes, most of the athletes in Oyo State, they were preparing for National Sport Festival, which couldn't hold due to the pandemic. Yeah, and we know that sports has been on hold for a while. You understand? And I can promise you, we are aching for the resumption of sports in Oyo State, in Nigeria. You understand? But even before then, we had written letters to organizations, multinationals. Had meetings with directives of different companies. So we discussed on the way forward how they are going to be partnering with us, because this is it. Government cannot take over all the burden.
All the burden,
You understand?
yeah.
Government can't take over all the burden, and we need new techniques. We need ingenious ways of imbibing sports into the culture of Oyo State. So, number one, we were having, there was already the plan. There was already everything was set for the Oyo State Governors Cup.
Okay.
You understand? Because we know that is the foundation for grassroots development of football. You understand? That's of football. Me saying football, and this is it. Another things we had in plan was let us develop other sports.
All eyes on football.
Let's
get away from that. See other sports.
Don't you think? Can't our kids play tennis?
Tennis.
Can't we organize tennis
competitions?
I'm not saying. I'm saying tennis.
Tennis, yeah. I'm saying, I know.
Tennis. Let's grow other sports. Let's grow other sports. Let's see where we, in the next 3-4 years, let's see where we say we are in terms of other sports. I was with Baba Onigide some time ago, and it was like, why don't we develop? Why don't you pick 10 games, 10 sports, and try to develop it all around? But I said, okay, let's pick 5. Let's work rigorously with 5.
5 at first.
You understand? Let's see where we are. And the plans are, everything has been laid out. Everything has been. I'm assuring you, everything has. The only thing we need is let us start sporting activities back in this state, and you have more than enough news to report. You get what I'm saying? So we need sports back, and you are going to be seeing different activities, not just in Ibadan.
Everywhere.
Not just in Ibadan. And there is a groundbreaking development that is coming on, which I'm not at liberty to say, but it will blow your mind. It will blow the minds of citizens of Oyo State.
Wow.
Because sports is going to be a household name in Oyo State. We are going back to the top. Aṣíwájú ni wá. I'm Aṣíwájú
The
gbogbo
pace
wọn ni.
setter. So, I mean, girls, everybody is listening. And so you are assuring your state that all we're waiting for is let COVID-19 go away. Let sports come back. Then a lot is going to happen.
A
Positively.
lot is going to happen because a lot has been drawn out. A lot
Exciting.
has been drawn out.
Exciting times. A lot is going to happen. A lot have been drawn out. A lot of plans. All we're waiting for is sport to return. And let's see where we go from there. It's still Sport Drill on Pensioners 106.7 FM. I'm speaking with a special assistant to the governor on grassroots sport development. Mr. Oyewunmi Oluwatobi. So looking at all these plans on ground, it's one thing to talk about a plan. It's another thing to have that modus operandi, the strategy to execute that plan. A lot of people talk. Talk is cheap, like they say. I will do this, I will do that. But the people will keep asking, people will looking, how do you intend? Because Ibadan is a zone, I know all eyes on Ibadan because it is easy to come around here. But other zones in the state, Ibarapa, Okeo, Gbomosho, how do you intend to to harness, to get to the grassroots there, build the talent, build the grassroots? Because it won't be good enough for Ibadan to just enjoy all the success, just is all Ibadan. Every other zones in the state, how do you intend to go further and what are the plans for them? How do you want to plan out developing those places? Because that is where the real job is.
Thank you very much. See, one of the first things I did when I got on board was to have conversations with the super for sports in each local government. And I think I was able to cover I was able to do like 25. You know, we talked. I had conversations with the super for sports, and they told us that, you know, what exactly? How do you think we can move forward? How do you think we can imbibe sports in your local area? You understand? So they said the problems, the major problems they identified was the lack of facilities. You understand? Because, you know, I think every major zone in Oyo State are mostly lacking in adequate facilities.
Even Ibadan, who is the mother of all?
Yeah, you know, that's why I said there is a groundbreaking development coming on soon, and it will blow our minds. GSM is a visionary. He's a visionary, and he knows his craft. You have a foresight governor. So, you know, when the super for sports, when they laid down the problems to me, and we discussed on, okay, we know that we don't have facilities. So my commissioner and I, Honorable Bishop Fakorede, we had several meetings with companies, multinationals, with companies in Oyo State. Like, okay, as a part of your CSR, why don't we didn't even know, you know, our governor was having something greater in mind. You understand? We were not privy to. He had plans. We were making plans. Like, help us, one of, like, grade these places. Let us have, you know, an expanse of land where we can have different projects going on. Where we have like a sports hub.
Definitely.
For these people. Till GSM laid down his plans to us, and we were blown. Like, okay, sir. So, you know, so sport development in other parts of other zones of Oyo State is coming. is going to be it's going to because it's not just Ibadan.
Definitely.
It's not just Ibadan.
But it's not only Oyo
we call this is Oyo State. You know, the Ibarakpa, the Okeogun, the Ogbomosho.
Exactly.
You understand? These places. You know, I was okay. That was the time. That was the time. I was at Igbora.
Okay.
Igbora. We like we just got there. We went for an event there, and I saw people, boys playing ball barefoot. Barefoot, you know when you see a foot, and you know that somebody about training last song.
It will. It will be fun.
You know, boys playing ball barefoot,
Definitely.
bone to bone. You know, you can understand that wow, these are raw materials. These are raw talents. You know, so we are not just going to be organizing competitions, organizing activities just for the sake of it. You know, we have people who groom them. These people are going to be groomed, and we are going to inculcate them into the system of Oyo State. Not just for them to, you know, okay, and no, we are going to be training them. And even with some of the multinationals, we are working on them adopting these athletes for us. Because that's the only way we will grow. We cannot say, okay, yeah, we're going to take over. No, we need some of the people to. You don't even need. They don't need your money. Just help provide equipment for these boys. Let them come and train. You understand? Let them come and train, and because we know we have materials in this state
enough,
and development will get to each and every zone of Oyo State.
Development will get to each and every zone in Oyo State. That's according to the essay to the governor, talking about Mr. Oyewunmi Oluwatobi, giving us his words that everything is set. All we're waiting for is for sports to return, then action resumes. Of course, still within grassroots. For every sport, there are some people in charge, the coaches, the personnel. With my little research, I've seen that grassroots lack coaches, and which is a big effect on how sport goes. Because when you don't have enough coaches, then definitely they're going to be, apart from if you have few, there's going to be a lot of work on those that were in charge, and then definitely the personnel won't just be enough. How do we intend to get more coaches on board to help this talent, to help groom this talent? Because if you're having 10 athletes, for instance, and you're having 2 coaches for them, it's not going to be enough.
No,
if you're going to have 500 athletes, let me say you discover a lot of athletes, sports guys who can do this job, but then you don't have the personnel, technical personnel, the coaches, who can come around and help groom right people on board. Right now, I know Oyo State lack a lot of coaches for every sport. How do we intend? Because that is one important thing that must not be missing. How do we intend to have coaches, personnel that will actually help this project?
Thank you very much for this question. Yeah, we like, you know, everything that is being organized by this government is working hand in hand. You know, one particular program would directly or indirectly affect another. Well, the reason why I'm saying this is because, you know, the TESCOM is on. Myself and SA students, we had a meeting with Mama TESCOM. You know, I made her understand that we need physical education teachers, and she assured me physical education teachers are going to be coming on board. Physical education teachers are going to be coming on board. And this is it. Sometimes in February, we had a meeting with a representative of the National Institute of Sports in Lagos.
Okay.
To help come and, you know, train. We are going to be having, these are part of the programs I'm saying are coming, having series of training programs, workshops for our coaches, because even the ones that are going to be coming in through TESCOM, they are going to be having, you know, physical education teachers turned into coaches. Yeah. You know, there are dynamics to being a coach. There are some you have to be able to, you know, to work on the motivation of your athletes.
Yeah.
You need to be able to, you know, build their character. You know, you need to be able to you know, build their confidence and build their technique. in the sports they are doing. You know, there are techniques to every game.
Definitely.
And we don't coaches are as important as the athletes themselves.
Yes.
You know, so we need coaches, we need physical educationists who have a particular sport they are into. You understand? And we train them in this line. You know, they too will undergo education. You know, they are physical educators, but they will undergo coaching education. You understand? So, you know, whatever it is that is passed through to them, we expect them to
Give
pass
it
through to our athletes. You understand? And I know that is a way we can develop and have enough coaches to go around. You know, we are going to be having, that's what I said, the different zones. There is development coming to different zones. Development is coming to different zones because at different times we are going to be, you know, for the sake for the fact that we really, you know, people cannot really, even now, people cannot really move. You know, we don't want, okay, most people to come and because of the
distance,
the situation on ground.
Definitely.
Do you understand? So we are going to be doing it in zones, a zone at a time, and development is going to come around these our zones. Oyo State is going to be home of sports. Because we are here to, you know, to work and make sure that our assignments, our goals are achieved. So our coaches, our physical educators are going to be trained in the line of coaching. You know, we're going to make sure they have the
necessary good days.
Yes.
That knowledge to impact every other athlete you might groom or you might see coming on board.
Definitely.
You talk about now that will take me to secondary schools. I mean, I will not say secondary schools now. Schools in general, as a trend, almost every school is shifting away from sports. If you don't see a building that was a former school, I mean, that has all the facilities being turned into companies, or you don't see, I think you get what I'm saying. I mean, is it like all schools are just like we'll do what we want to do? I'm looking at the government having a kind of I won't say authority now. We're in a democratic world, but then giving a mandate to every school to include sports, not just the one we are doing. This abele sport we're doing, you know, on seriousness, and we feel like, you know, I mean, including sports into. I know public schools are trying, but I see public schools, government schools have slacked. I know private schools are doing so much, but it seems like the government schools are slack. Is there any mandate? Is there anything the government is bringing on board to make sure that every school get involved? Because as long as we can talk grassroots sport rather, you can't take away the schools.
No.
You can't take away, I mean, that school factor away from it. Is there anything the government is bringing on board towards that? Because it needs to be changed from the education perspective.
Thank you very much. The thing is, we all understand, you know, all sports administrators understand the fact that without school sports is the basis for grassroots sport, and grassroots sport is the basis of development of sports. You understand? It is from the school sports that these stars will come out.
A lot.
That you will see that
this guy can
run. You understand? It is when you organize this. The only time you see them schools nowadays be getting involved in is when they just organize after the inter-house sports.
Exactly. Only
inter-house sports. You know, even when you're done with the inter-house sports,
that's all.
There is no monitoring. There is no, there's no evaluation. There is no monitoring to see where, what will happen to these boys in the next how many months. There should be a timeline for things. And through effective monitoring, we can make sure that, okay, we know this is it. Honorable Commissioner and Adebisi, Honorable Adebisi, he is the Chairman House Committee on Sport. We've discussed on monitoring and implementing policies that would effectively imbibe sport in schools. Like in the National Sport Policy of 1981, every child, every school needs to to create time for students to involve in sports.
Definitely.
You know, there has to be, that recreation time has to be there. The time they, the 30 minutes they have to run around, the 1 hour they have to move around and play ball, move, you understand? To refreshing their psyche.
Definitely.
To refreshing their mental health, because sports helps your mental health. Sports develops you in all ramifications of life. You understand? So there's been this even in your state. School sports is the policy for school sport is there. You understand? But the thing that we are lacking is the monitoring. So we that we are on board, we the administrators, now we make sure schools, even at the least, make sure you are organizing inter-house sports. At the least, make sure you do inter-house sports annually. Because at least they know that yes, the school is encourage even at the tertiary institutions. There are some school tertiary authorities or tertiary institution authorities that frown at sports. That frown at sports, which is not meant to be.
Which is very bad.
It is not meant to be. We know tertiary institutions are basically learning. You understand? Basically for learning. But sport is something that should be learned. Sport should be learned. You don't just wake up one day and you are very good at something. It doesn't work that way. It's something that you must you build it.
Yeah, definitely.
There is nothing comes easy. You have to work for it. You have to want it. But if you are not encouraging students, they would not.
They won't, definitely. They need someone to push them.
So the thing that we are doing, we are making sure that we are monitoring schools. And we are going to put in place competitions for them to
compulsorily
be
in.
Yes.
So your student have to, whether you like it or not, you still have to undergo training.
Yeah.
Because you can't come on board and
and that is why I said we are having physical educators. Not just
anybody.
Physical educators.
Precisely
in these schools at different zones. They are gonna have a say in the sporting activity of the school. They are going to be the ones to monitor. This time for break. You monitor them playing in the old school. You go around and make sure you
see what is happening. Yes. Give report. Give necessary data.
Yes.
How they are faring and everything.
Schools concerning sports. So sports in Oyo State is going to come back and it's going to be a household event, a household phenomenon in Oyo State.
Sports is going to be sport in Oyo State. It's going to be an household event. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be something everybody will celebrate. That is according to the special assistant to the governor on grassroots sport development, Oyewunmi Oluwatobi. It's the sport drill on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Agbari Goni, the city of Ibadan. Of course, you can be part of the program. Join us live on Pensioners FM 106.7 on Facebook. Pensioners FM 106.7 on Facebook. Or you can be part via the studio lines. Maybe you have 1 or 2 questions for my guest. Or you have a contribution at 090-81-11-10-67, at 090-81-11-10-67, or 080-80-10-10-67, or 080-80-10-10-67. Or you can send me a message on WhatsApp at 090-2672-1042, 090-2672-1042. First caller, good afternoon. Hello. 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 Oh, God, yeah. At 090-81-11-10-67, 090-81-11-10-67, or 080-80-10-10-67, 080-80-10-10-67. You can send your message on WhatsApp at 090-2672-1042. Maybe the caller is back this time around. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is William.
Williams.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Well, we thank God.
Okay, Williams from
You see,
Olugo.
my yes, my contribution this afternoon is this. You see, each time I pass through a school like Awari Salam,
Mm.
I feel a bit disappointed. Because that school has a vast, amount of land, and if they wanted to make sports, important in that school, they have enough land to have these sports fields.
Awari
But
Islam at
sometimes,
LA, if I'm right.
yes, yes, really, yes.
Yeah, okay. I know the
And
school.
I feel disappointed. It's a bit disappointing
Mm.
that they have not been able to utilize that land and and include the sport as part of their cardinal in that school. You see, when I was in school, 40 years ago, the path to building our sport in this country, we got it right. 40 years ago. There were things in place to help us advance athletics, football, basketball, volleyball, and all the like. These things were in place in most of the public schools. But today they are no more.
There no more.
See, when I was in school, in our school then, we had 4 houses. And each student coming into that school must belong to a house.
Mm.
You must is a must. After you have registered, you keep that space in that form that you say, look, I belong to white or blue or yellow or red house.
Mm.
And every week, Wednesday and Friday, there are sports activities that a house master would oversee. That is where you pick people that will represent your house, being the inter-house sport or any other match. But today, these things are not in place. They're looking for how to jumpstart them now. And the desire actually is not there. Even though we now understand the kind of money it could bring to our economy if we are able to do it the way it ought to be done. Yes, you see, we are playing with it. Just making a joke of the whole thing. Those days when I was growing up, you had football clubs. Like a thing, like a thing. More than 7 of those clubs, children were training every day. Any pitch you get to, you see a football match going on, competition going on here and there. Then we had enough players to pick from 13 to 15, youth fund cup, in the principal's cup, and the rest is players were being developed. That was why then in those states we had so much players to pick from. Right now, the athletes are not there, footballers are not there, basketballers are not there.
That's why we're working on it.
Yes, what they are looking at now still is not holistic. It's not holistic. They have to look for a way to institute it in schools, make it a part of their core curriculum. If they try to do that, it's still going to be the same, half-hearted approach to it. Make it compulsory to students in secondary schools to be a part of a house, and their training must be on a weekly basis. And of course, make sure there are competitions that they will compete in.
Okay.
Not it starts today, tomorrow, for some reason, perhaps you have a new governor in place that not like sports, then that thing will suffer. No, it should not be like that.
Okay.
That is how it has been for too long now, and it has destroyed sports in this country and in this state as well. So this time around, we have a governor that loves sports. Perhaps they look at it critically and do the next thing.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Williams. Thank you for that. Pick this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
My name is Muili Ojo.
Muili Ojo, you're welcome. The moment I heard that voice, I knew it was you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
I want to thank our guest over there. And first, I want to congratulate him for his appointment under the able, sports-loving governor, who is so blessed with wisdom of God, in selecting people like him.
Thank you very much.
I will say my son, as chairman of your Sports Council, is also a lover of sports.
Yes, Mr. Aroli.
I want to congratulate you so far
Yeah.
for what you have proposed. And I want to say much more on the execution. Many proposals have been made before. But like somebody said before, the past 8 years, 9 years, I would say, have been very, very dominant in sports. But now that we are very, very lucky to have sports-loving governor who is in an active sports up to today, sports-loving special assistant, and of course, the chairman of the Sports Council, also sports-loving.
Yeah. Yes.
We want to assure you, we pull our resources together to make sure that all these things are realized.
Yes.
You can please take Raymond and let me know when it will be convenient for us to see you in the office and give you some briefings. Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you very
congratulate you and wish you successful tenure of office. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was Pamuli. And of course, going to what Williams once said, just like what we were saying before the call came on board, talking about mandating it. It was giving examples of how it started. It mentions that 40 years ago, there was a policy. I mean, and the school he was talking about Islam, I pass through the place almost every day. And truly, they have lands.
Yes.
But it seems like they don't understand why the land is there.
Yeah, a lot of schools like that have been kind of redundant in terms of sports. And it is our duty, to look for those schools. There are, like recently we were at different schools, even the governor school, Bishop Phillips. These schools have lands. What are we going to do about them? I know the best thing we can do, now, get to these schools, evaluate them, see where we can come in. To play sports, you don't have to. I don't think you have to put the most beautiful of equipment, the most refined of equipment. You just, all you need to do is put the effort.
Definitely.
In creating a space that you can do physical exercises, that you can involve in sports. You don't have to have the finest, just make the effort that the minimum requirements to engage in sports are there. You don't really have, it's not, if put bamboo, put grade, cut the grass,
definitely.
you understand? And these are even things that we will try to encourage the school, the principals of the schools, the people in charge of the schools. They don't have to, go and buy put bamboo, let everywhere be graded, and
let's start something first.
Let's do something. You understand? You can even practice. You can practice sprinting on your field.
Before.
You get what I'm saying? You can practice sprinting on your field. Maybe then times for inter sports or times for come to the government now. And like now in Oyo State, we know that there is no tartan track in Oyo State.
No, not even one.
Except maybe University of Ibadan.
Yeah, that's the only place.
That was where we were gonna train for have our what's it called, our trials, Oyo State trials.
That's not good enough.
You understand? And these are the things we've made known to our head, the executive governor of Oyo State, and he blew our mind. He just gave us he just showed us things that these things are coming. I'm at liberty to say, but in the next coming month, there's going to be a major paradigm shift in the sporting culture of Oyo State. There's going to be a paradigm shift, a major paradigm shift in the sporting culture of this state. And as every other State will be looking at us in front and like, oh, Oyo State, wow.
It's number one.
Like, how did Oyo State get so lucky? That's going to be, those are going to be words coming out from their mouth. How did we get so lucky?
What platform did they
Yes.
use? Let me pick this call before we move forward. And good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Williams calling back.
Okay, Williams, quickly.
I want to ask your guest in the studio.
Okay.
Have you made any kind of plans, like school like our Salam now, for them to have something like a mower?
A mower.
Yes.
Okay.
So first and foremost, clear those grass. Make the place a bit presentable. Try to change the perception, because somehow most times you go to that school, you see the grass, everywhere.
Bushy.
Everywhere, bush everywhere. That's supposed to be a school. I'm using that as a case study, but the same thing, is obtainable in most of the public schools.
Definitely.
Is there no way we can have a grant master that takes care of the, of this weed in the school, landscape this environment? It shouldn't be so difficult or too expensive. Please, let's try and look into that as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, William. William is talking about just making you example of what we learn. Definitely, that's how most public school looks like.
Yeah.
Having a grandmaster, I mean, that will make sure that will look after most of these things in school. Cut the grass. I mean, make it look. I mean, presentable, not just you walk in and you look like, are we in school?
I think I passed through that route. I've seen the school from I've not been in the school. I've been to other schools. I've Methodist school, Methodist high school. I've been to and even the new what's it called? The new SDG schools that have been built. How we can have sporting facilities in all these schools. There's just erection of courts in all these schools. So other larger schools of such, we are going to make sure we work towards, even if it's not just, if just for these places to look clean.
Clean, presentable.
Just clean. Just let it look clean. And before you know it, the necessary equipment are going to be in place for them to have, to participate in sports. So definitely we are going to be working on that.
Okay, and this is a message from I think maybe this is a friend or I'll put it as a friend. His name Olaos. They said, I attended Teresa's minor seminary Okiare, and good Lord, I always enjoy scoring against our noisy neighbors. He said, I remember in JSS3 breaking into the school team and scoring twice against them in a 2-0 win in a friendly. I greet the special assistant to the governor in the studio. And definitely this guy knows you.
He knows me. They were really good in football.
Wow.
Look at my school, my school was just beside their school. By 4:30, these boys are just on the field training.
Ready to beat you.
Like 4:30 in the morning, they wake up. They are running like that. That was their training regime. So we really look at them like, okay, yeah, they were like our big brothers. If the school beat us, we'll tell them that. Yeah. I agree to you.
At 12:55 already. Time for our spend. Still sport drill. Before we go, the Oyo State, the national, it's our own national stadium anyway. I never think I've been to the place a lot of times and I've not been impressed with what I've seen. Not facilities not available. Anything from the government. I think I had at the point in time the Olympic Commissioner saying they're going to do the tracks and the likes. And how soon should we expect a development in there? Because that stadium needs a lot of renovation. It's like rebuilding the place again. Yeah. I've been there a million times, if I will use that word. It's almost as good as let me just keep quiet.
I understand where you're coming from because I know the feeling is mutual. I promise you, the feeling that the place is not, it's not what it used to be. You understand? Let me just put it like that. Let me not say much. What it used to be, and you know, I've been saying that there is a groundbreaking development that is going to blow our minds, and I promise you that. Like, it is a promise, you know, because all you need and all we needed, all the state needed, was a arrowhead that loved sports, and we have that at American Core. You know, we have a man who knows that, okay, this is sports. Is a serious business.
Serious business.
It's a serious business, and you know there is a need for a shift, a paradigm shift in the sporting culture of your state, and it starts from that stadium, because that is our own. That is our own house.
That's our own house.
You understand? That is the way they will use to look at sports in Oyo State.
Like,
if the major facility of Oyo State, which is Adamasingba Stadium, is not up to par, then what is our sports culture like? You understand? So, and it is something that it's already, like, the plan is laid out already. You understand? And everybody will hear about it very soon.
Okay, quickly, let's speak. This last call, not 30 seconds. Hello, good afternoon. You are my last caller.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's Williams calling back again.
You have 30 seconds, Williams.
All right,
30
I want to
seconds.
say thank you to the guest list there.
Okay.
That Adamasingba, I've often asked myself, is this a sports center or a shopping mall? Yes, truly. Because you go around there, you hardly see any sporting goods store around that place.
Okay.
Is it a sporting center or a shopping mall? So thank God that they are taking some steps now. I hope they see it through.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
nice day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
It's a sports center, definitely. I think according to his words, speaking from his words, he has said he has promised, and the whole world has listened and said there's going to be a paradigm shift in sports in our state, and of course, Adamasingba is going to be more presentable and a lot. He has said a lot. We're holding us to his word. Many have said such, but then we have a sport-loving governor, and we have people who in charge who can harness and do all these things. Of course, we are the media will follow suit everything. You can trust me. I want to follow to everything he has said and see everything we put in place. Thank you for coming on board.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That is the start of the package. Sport Drill and Pensioners 106.7 FM. Agbarigoni, the city of Ibadan. Many thanks to my producer, Babatunde Tiamiyo. And of course, my DC on duty, Babafemi Obide. Like I used to say, sport is life. Always endeavor to exercise your heart. For anything grassroots, of course, you can send me a message or give me a call for anything grassroots sports at 09026721042 and 09026721042. I remain Raymond Oluwatobi, the sports illuminator. I live with this code. I've always been an advocate that we can't go without developing our young ones. There's no way we can make it at national and international level if we don't develop the grassroots. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a lovely weekend. Good afternoon.